All right, welcome to Sunday Fun Day, Yoga for the People. I'm Libby, and I am the owner and operator of In the Hills, which is my home-based yoga studio here in Rome, Georgia. And for those of you on YouTube, you were probably waiting to hear where I was from, noting the twang in my voice. That girl got to be somewhere from the South. Anyhow, in the Hills, I run 9 group, well, until quarantine hit, I was running 9 group classes a week, seeing numerous private clients, either for private yoga, reflexology, tarot. I even officiate marriages. So a little bit of everything here in the Hills, but the main part of my business is yoga. I've been open for 7 years now, and well, this June will be 7 years, and I consider myself to be a teacher at heart. So in my classes, and I guess in these video classes here on YouTube, I very much try to teach yoga as opposed to just leading you through it. So I try to tell you, how I'm feeling, things in my body, things you can do to strengthen your pose, or maybe engage a little more in certain areas so that the pose is not so much of a fight for you. In saying that, today's sequence is going to be majority upper than lower body mobility work, and then we're going to move toward one of the basic, I hate to use the phrase back bend. It's really a spinal extension, back bend being the common name for it. However, we like to move away from that language because it makes you think you're supposed to bend into your back. And that is not what we do when we come into those type of poses. We want to extend through our spine. And in extending through our spine, we end up coming into that arched back shape. But Camel Pose is what we'll be working toward today, but that won't come until the very end. When you work in strong spinal extension poses, you always want to do plenty of warm-up. Let's say you want to go into full wheel pose, which is back bend, traditional back bend. You would never want to walk into your practice area, get on your mat, and try to go into a back bend. That's just begging to get injured. So the work that we're going to do today is just going to warm us up all the way from the neck through the hips, which is really what needs to be open and supported in our camel posture. Okay, so sorry, I gabbed that enough. What I will say, and I was telling some of my students that are here in the recording room with me, back bends are challenging for me. So what you're going to see from me today is not going to be the most glorious looking or Instagram worthy back bend posture ever, because I'm not good at them. I fight with them, and so I've made it a goal during quarantine to improve and strengthen and open in necessary areas to make it more accessible to me, but it's always been a challenge for me. And that's one thing I always try to convey to my students is I by no means have a yoga pedestal to stand on. I'm just a regular kind of gal. Up until 3 years ago, I was working as a full-time mathematics instructor while I was teaching yoga. And so it was just, sometimes it's a grab 10 minutes here or 15 minutes there. Now, certainly during quarantine, I've had plenty of time to practice. That's been one nice thing to have during this time. But I'm human too, and I fall out of poses, sometimes I clench my jaw when I feel tension coming into my body. So we're all just here to learn and practice and walk through this journey together. And it should never be a competition with others, nor with yourself, because you're going to have a different body, a different set of emotions, a different mindset every single time you come to your mat. It will be different for you. And so one thing that I very much try to put forward to my students is for you to honor whatever body you brought to your mat and set of emotions and mindset, and to be your own guru. You know, I'm here to suggest poses for you, and certainly when we're in a face-to-face situation, keeping you safe, and I do my best to keep you safe in the virtual situation as well. But be your own guru. You're the only one that knows what it feels like in your body. You're the only one that can feel how your breath is moving. And here in the hills, we don't use our bodies to get into a pose, but rather use the pose to get into our bodies. So hopefully this will be challenging for you today and feel good, and you'll feel, with it being a heart opening posture, spinal extension posture, you should feel energized after today's practice, maybe even more so than regular. That's one thing that back bending can do for you. Okay, now I've really talked it to death. Let's go ahead and get going. Quick disclaimer, you're practicing at your own risk, and you know, in the hills, nor I am responsible for any injury you may cause to yourself. You take on that responsibility on yourself when you go through this program with me. So the full disclaimer is listed in the description below. And gosh, I guess I better get used to saying, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. That's one of the best things you can do for me here in this time, because I'm working 100% on donations. And so hopefully with some likes and subscribes, there may be some monetization of the videos that I'm putting on YouTube. So yeah, that's it. Let's go ahead and come into a comfortable seated position, sitting up nice and tall through the crown of your head by lifting from the base of your skull. We want to have a nice natural curve in our low back. So if sitting on the floor causes you to posteriorly tilt with your pelvis and round in your low back, then it may be beneficial for you to elevate your hips a little bit to bring, you can see how that just brings that nice curve, the natural curve into the low back. So there's a very slight anterior tilt to the pelvis. However, if you're comfortable, you know, you can sit up nice and tall without support, by all means, feel free to stay right on your mat, closing your eyes. Beginning to relax any obvious tension out of the body as we breathe. Centering ourselves for our practice today. And seeing if you can find a natural rhythm that you would like to try to maintain with your breath throughout your practice. Counting is a nice way to find a rhythm. So let's start by having you find your own rhythm with the inhale and the exhale being matched. So maybe you want to start out with a count of 4, as in inhale, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4. Find your own though. Maybe it's a 3-3 breath. Maybe it's a 5-5 breath. But just try to find that balanced rhythm between the inhales and exhales here for just a few breaths. And then after you've taken a few breaths like that with the inhale and the exhale matched in count, see if you can move into adding a count or two to the exhale. So perhaps inhale 2, 3, 4, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Continue with a couple more breaths in that manner with the lengthened exhales. And then we'll bring our hands together at heart center. We'll inhale, reaching forward and up, and exhale, back down to the heart. Holding here to open our class with 3 ohms, taking an inhale. Fourth ohm resonates within the heart space. All right, let's go ahead and switch the cross of our legs. Hands just gently on the knees. And we're gonna start in the neck. So just dropping your chin down towards your chest without collapsing in your upper back. Stay nice and tall through the upper back and just let the chin drop down. And you're just gonna start by drawing your chin to the left and back, doing full circles through the neck. Right, back, left, and down. Inhale, right and back. Exhale, left and down. Inhale, right and back. Exhale, left and down. One more, right and back, left and down. Hold there. We're going to reverse directions. So inhale, left and back. Exhale, right and down. Inhale, left and back. Exhale, right and down. 3 more. Left, back, right, down. 2 more. Left and back on the inhale, right and down on the exhale. Last one. Left and back and right and down. And then just coming up to center here. My hair is itching my face. Goodness. Ugh, it's getting long and stringy. All right. From here, you're just going to take a deep inhale. Exhale, let your left ear draw down towards your left shoulder. Try not to squeeze your left shoulder up towards your ear. And you can just reach away with your right hand to deepen. This is plenty for me to feel the stretch through the right side of the neck. But if you'd like a little bit more, you can hang the weight of the left arm on your head. What I don't want you to do is let your chin drop down just yet. So we're just going to take 3 breaths here. Y'all keep your fingers crossed for my internet signal. We have got some storms a brewing out there. There's some thunder rolling in the background. Or else I'd have been outside today. Deep inhale. Exhale, do let your chin now drop down towards your armpit so that your forehead is pointing more towards your left knee. You're going to reach up and over with your left hand. Press your head into your hand and keep that pressing of the head as you draw forward. And that should transfer the stretch to the back right side of the neck. 3 full breaths here. And we'll release, roll back toward the ear and up to center. So you should feel nice and open on this side, on this side, but we're gonna take care of this side now. Take a deep inhale, exhale, let your right ear fall towards your right shoulder. Just breathing into the left side of the neck. You can reach out through the left fingertips to deepen that. Once again, if you want to hang the weight of your right arm on your head, do so. But don't pull with this one. Just the weight of your arm is enough. But this, in my body at least, is plenty stretch for me, just reaching out through the fingertips there. One more breath. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, do let your chin fall down towards your armpit so that your forehead is pointing towards your knee, your right knee, that is. You can reach up and over with this one. Press the head into the hand as you draw deeper into the stretch. Stretch should have transferred more to the back left side of the neck now. And we breathe 3 more breaths. And releasing the hand, rolling the right ear back toward the right shoulder and up to center. Nice. Go ahead and switch the cross of your legs again. And we'll take a deep inhale, out and up with the right arm. Exhale, sliding and bending. And you want to not let your spine flex forward. You want to fare toward wrapping your heart open here. So it's an inhale back up to the top, switching arms. Exhale over to the right, spinning open. Inhaling up. Exhale over. You're really trying to stay planted through that opposite sits bone. So here, when I'm reaching to the right, that left hip wants to pop up and come with, and I'm really working it, pressing it back down to the mat so I can get maximum length through the side bodies here. And then inhale both arms up to, I was gonna say to the ceiling, but that didn't sound right when I started to say it. Either way, you're gonna exhale and twist right. So the hand comes to the left hand comes to the outside of the knee. And now if I just have it hanging out there, you can see in my torso, I'm not in that big of a twist. My heart here is still almost pointing toward the camera. So what I do is I use that left hand, ooh, that was a big lightning that just happened. Left hand to press into the knee and torque my heart open to the right there. So now you can see my heart light shining more to the side over here. And I'm just trying to sit nice and tall. You can cast your gaze over the back shoulder if that feels good to your neck. Deep inhale. Exhale, just go ahead and sweep to the other side here. Just a few breaths here with a twist through the spine. Again, you're using the torque there by pressing into the knee to open your heart to the side. Casting gaze over back shoulder if that's appropriate. Not a necessity. You can look straight ahead or you could even look forward if you wanted to. And release out of that. From here, we're going to continue in the upper back and shoulders with some eagle arms. So we'll inhale the arms out to a T to the sides. You're going to exhale, cross your left arm over your right. Try to cross above your elbows. And then you'll bring your forearms back to back here. This may be where you land, and that's okay. If you can go a little further, this bottom right hand pulls back towards your nose and then reaches to the inside of your left palm. So what you don't want happening is that top left hand to be flat toward me. You want it to be chopping toward me. Now, from here, press down through your shoulders. And then we're going to draw the elbows up as high as we can on the inhale. And then we'll exhale and draw them down as low as we can. Inhale, lift. Exhale, draw down. 3 more of those. Inhale, lift. Exhale, draw down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, draw down. 1 more, I think. Inhale, lift. Exhale, draw down. And then come back to neutral, unwind, release, roll that out a little bit, and then we'll move to the other side, and then we'll come up out of this seated position. I know your hips and knees are probably begging for it. Inhale out to the sides, up to the top. Exhale, cross right over left this time. And see if you can wrap it up there. Press down through the tops of your shoulders so you're not squeezing up. And then we'll inhale and lift our elbows. Exhale, pull them down. 4 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Last one, lift. And exhale, down. And then we can unwind and release, coming over onto hands and knees for a static cat back position. So, as always, when we come onto hands and knees, if you've got sensitive knees, feel free to blanket under your knees. Never just be hanging out in pain there. That's ridiculous, especially when we can remedy that. Hands come slightly forward, slightly wider than the shoulders. Let's set our hands to get some of this weight out of our wrist by coming up onto our fingertips and then pressing all the way down through the hand to distribute that weight. We want to make sure that we're not collapsing here, but we're lifting for a neutral spine. We'll take a deep inhale. On the exhale, you'll tuck your tailbone under, tuck your chin to your chest, press down through your palms to try to split your shoulder blades and shoot the back side of the heart up to the sky, and we breathe. So you should feel your belly muscles working here. When you protract the shoulders in conjunction with posteriorly tilting the pelvis, which is the way we have it tilted right now, it automatically engages through the abdominal muscles for you. Now you can accentuate that by really focusing on drawing the navel up toward the spine there. But keep the breath moving. Maybe try to come back into that rhythm that you found at the beginning of our practice. Okay, take an inhale here and tap back. Then you're going to exhale, Keeping that tuck under, you're going to come all the way back to a child's pose, hips to heels. And then you're going to begin to arch through your back and kind of snake through on the inhale to your cow breath. So we're going to make this a fluid movement here. We'll go really slow on this first round, and then we'll speed it up a little bit. So this cow breath, I'm anteriorly tilted in my pelvis. Now I'm not collapsed. I'm still lifted. I've still got my navel and my low ribs drawn up, even as I'm in this arched back position. I'm drawing my shoulders down my back here and trying to squeeze my shoulder blades in towards my spine. So this is the inhale, and then it's an exhale. All in one, you're going to turn to cat back as you draw your hips back to your heels. And then you're going to inhale and kind of snake through your arms, pressing back up to cat back. Cow back. Exhale, cat and child's pose. Inhale, arch to cow. Exhale, cat to child. Inhale, arch to cow. Exhale, cat to child. Inhale, arch to cow. Last one, exhale, cat to child. Inhale, arch to cat. That feels so good. Now, come to neutralize your spine. Once again, drawing low ribs and navel up to support the low back. Reset your hands. We're going to do that same type of motion, but we're going to do it from down dog this time. So toes turn under. Take an inhale into your low back. Exhale, press back and up to your down dog. Of course, take a moment here to make any movements that feel good in your dog. Again, with your down dog, you should not be collapsed into it. Let me see if you can see this. You should not be collapsed in your rib cage. All of that should be drawn in and up, your belly and your ribs. And that supports and strengthens your posture and neutralizes your spine. Down dog is a spine neutral posture. And you're reaching out through your shoulders and fingertips there. One trick or tip rather that you can use to try to start getting the heels to settle back down toward the mat is think about engaging the tops of your feet towards your shin. So you're trying to flex your foot up without actually lifting it. And that will engage tibialis longus, the front of the shin muscle, that will help relax. It works as a reciprocal inhibitor of the calf muscles. So that'll help relax those heels down to the mat. Okay, so our dynamic movement here. We're going to wave through our spine forward by tucking under, protracting, pressing down to wave forward into our plank, and then we'll exhale, take a bear pose. I'm not touching my knees to the mat. I'm arching my back, and I'm going to press back into down dog on the exhale. Inhale, wave forward into plank. Bend your knees. Inhale, reach through your tailbone back up to down dog. Inhale, plank. Bend your knees, bear. Exhale, reach up through the tailbone to down dog. Exhale, plank. Waving through, bend.
Exhale, arch back up. Last one. Inhale, wave through your spine to plank. And exhale, bend, arch, and lift. And then you can touch your knees down. Woo! And take a child's pose here. If your shoulders are tired, you can bring your hands back to your feet and just let your shoulders round around your knees. Couple more breaths here. And then from here, we'll move forward onto our bellies for another shoulder stretch. Okay. From here, you're going to reach out with your right arm, but bring it into a goal post. So I'm face down on the mat, but this is what my right arm looks like. My elbow's coming straight out from my shoulder. My forearm is at a 90-degree angle to my upper arm. So I've got it in a goal post on the floor here. My left hand is going to plant on the fingertips under my left shoulder, and I'm going to press into my left hand to stack my left hip on top of my right. I can bend my knees for support, wider base. And if you'd like a little bit more, you should be feeling quite a bit in the right shoulder by now. The more you push into your left fingertips, the more intense that's going to be in the right shoulder. If you'd like a little bit more though, you can lift open with the top knee and drop the toes behind you. And keep trying to lift up and open with that top knee. It's tough, especially with the goalpost arm. It's a little bit easier if the arm is straight. 3 more breaths here. And then straighten back out, lower yourself down. We'll go right into the other side. So right fingertips come under the right shoulder. Left arm comes out to a goal post. And I'm gonna press into my right fingertips to stack my hips. I like to bend my knees a little bit for a wider base. And then I can deepen by opening with the top knee and touching the toes behind me. 5 breaths. This can be quite intense, especially if you have any bunk shoulder issues. I know a couple gals in the room, including myself, deal with shoulder rehab stuff. 1 more breath here. Deep inhale. Exhale, coming back to your prone position, belly down. You're going to stay on your fingertips and open your hands a little wider and forward of your shoulders. I'll show you it to you from this viewpoint. It looks like this. I think I've called this spider arms in the past. Just made that up. I don't know. It kind of looks like a, I don't know. It doesn't look anything like a spider. Oh well. That's what you need to do though for this next one, is make that shape on your fingertips. Tops of the feet are down, so no toes turned under with this one. You're going to set your pelvis by pressing your pelvis, pubic bones rather, down into the mat and scoop it forward towards your chin. I want you to squeeze your shoulder blades in towards your spine, and on the inhale, start drawing your shoulder blades down your back, pressing into your fingertips to lift. Keep the back of the neck long. Exhale, lower down. Don't go too high and hurt your low back here. Inhale, squeeze, tuck. and lift. Exhale, lower down. Try to keep your navel lifted the whole time. Inhale, squeeze, tuck, lift. Exhale, lower down. 2 more. Inhale, squeeze, tuck, lift. Exhale, lower down. Last one. Inhale, squeeze, tuck, lift. Exhale, lower down. Now, lengthen your arms fully, bringing your hands to the mat, so it's going to look more like this. You're going to be wide, and you can come to fingertips here, but this one, it's more appropriate to be flat-handed. So from here, you're going to press and lift here and hold. I'm isometrically dragging my hands back toward my hips. My fingertips are pointed open. Now, this is seal pose. It's a variation, it's a deeper variation of Sphinx pose. I'm trying to draw my shoulders back and push my heart forward. Now, if I wanted more of a sensation here, I could come down, bring my hands in closer. I still have my fingertips pointing open and come here. So find whatever seal works in your body. This is a very nice belly stretch too. But what we want to make sure of is that we're not here with our shoulders. So they're drawing down our back, and we are not hurting our low backs, compressing too much. Deep inhale. Exhale, lower back down. You'll help yourself up to a kneeling position, if that's okay for you. If it's not and you want to just sit cross-legged, that's fine. I do like to practice kneeling though. It's a nice stretch for the top of the feet, which we'll do here in just a moment. But it can be nice to practice kneeling as well. Okay, I'm turning around so that you can see this arm position. We will start by opening our right arm out to the right. We'll point our palm open behind us, and I want you to drop down, bending at your elbows, sweeping across, and trying to bring your hand as close to the center of your back between your shoulder blades as possible. So try not to round forward through that shoulder, but open back. And then we'll inhale out and up with the left, bend the elbow, and I can never reach on this side, so I'm just gonna hold here. Now let me show you this from the side. What we don't want happening is this top arm pushing your head forward like that. We want to stay up nice and tall, and we're trying to get that top arm as close to vertical behind our head as possible. 3 more breaths, and then we'll switch sides. This is Gomukhasana, cow face position, arms. Try to draw your low ribs in, draw your belly in. And carefully release out of that. So I'm not going to be mirroring y'all on this one because I started facing away from you, so I was on the same side. So switch sides. Don't worry about how it looks on the video here. I'll be on the opposite side as you. This time, we're going to inhale, open with the left arm. Turn the palm to face behind us. And we're going to sweep down across and bend at the elbow and try to bring the hands up between the shoulder, or the hand between the shoulder blades. And then we'll inhale out and up, bend at the elbow. Ooh, I'm touching. I might can hook on this side if I'm lucky. You can always use a strap with this one, holding onto it,
Or you could hold on to your shirt if you wanted to. Breathing here. Drawing navel and low ribs back. Can y'all hear that thunder rumbling? And releasing. So a little bit of disclosure. I consider myself to be a reasonably intelligent person. I mean, I was a mathematics professor for 15 years. I have a little bit of smarts about me. However, in regards to thunder and lightning, it wasn't until about 5 years ago that I realized that they're not two different things, that they're the same phenomenon. Like I thought you had thunder and you had lightning. No, they're the same phenomenon, just two different characteristics of the same thing happening. So, yeah, that was a very proud moment of my life, figuring out how utterly ridiculous it was for me to think that you might be able to have thunder without lightning or vice versa. A little bit of humor for you there. Hopefully that makes you feel smarter. It's like, well, at least I'm not Libby thinking that thunder and lightning are two different things. All right, come to sit on your bum now. And we'll bend at the knees. We're going to come into a reverse tabletop position here. So go ahead and turn your fingertips to point away from you. Again, we don't want to collapse here. We want to lift up and be engaging through the arms by pushing down. We'll do 5 lifts and lowers. So I'm really trying to squeeze my shoulder blades in towards my spine. I'll inhale, press down through my palms and feet to lift, and exhale, come back. 4 more. Inhale, press and lift. Again, I'm not collapsing, I'm lifting. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. 2 more. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Last one. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Shake that out a little bit. Let me check our time. Ooh, okay, we're good, we're good. Go ahead and come back into the kneeling position. I'm going to show you this one from the side. This is our foot stretch, and you can take it as deeply or as gently as you'd like. To be very gentle with this stretch, you're going to lean back a little bit and bring your hands behind you, and then you're just going to lift up with your knees. You'll feel the stretch through your feet. You'll know if you're doing it right. Some people feel it all the way up into their shins. If you'd like a little bit more, you're going to send your weight forward and maybe try to hold on to your knees here and pull your knees back towards your chest. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Releasing down. You're going to come into your squat. So maybe just giving some movements here before you come all the way down into it. For those of you whose heels don't want to go all the way down, there's nothing wrong with you. It could be you have tight Achilles tendons. It could just be the way your ankle is structured. So don't feel bad if your heels can't make it to the mat. You can remedy that. You can stuff blankets up under your heels to give yourself something to push down on there. So let's try to get the shoulders between the knees here. And we'll take an inhale
here in squat, malasana, and then we'll exhale, shift our weight forward onto our hands. I'll show you this from the side. So we'll shift our weight forward on the exhale and lengthen up through our legs. So it's an inhale, squat, exhale, fold. Inhale, squat, exhale, fold. So we've now moved into hip mobility, if you haven't guessed. Inhale, squat, exhale, fold. Inhale, squat, exhale, fold and hold. And maybe just sway from side to side here. Getting a flowy motion going. The more you straighten your legs in this posture, the more you're going to be opening in hamstrings. If knees are very bent, it's going to kind of keep you in your low back. So keep it at whatever level feels good to you today. One's not wrong and the other one right. They're just different. And they should feel different in your body. All right, the next time you swing over to the right, hold there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and swing left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and come back to center. Let me see where we're going. Yep, right back down to squat. So point your toes open if they're pointing straight, and go ahead and drop down into your squat. Okay, a little more hip mobility work here. So this time I'm gonna drop my left shoulder down between my knee and bring my right hand to the inside of my right knee. And basically what I'm gonna do, I'm just going to press open on that knee and look up over the shoulder and then relax back out of that. Press and look, relax back. We'll do 10 of them, so 8 more. Press and release, and press and release. Press and release. 5 more. Press, release, press, release, press, release. 2 more. Press, release, and press, release. Switch sides. So drop your right shoulder down, bring your left hand to the inside of your left knee, and press, relax, and press, relax, press, relax, press, relax. This is 5, press, relax. 5 more. Press, relax, press, relax. 3 more. Press, relax, press, relax. Last one. Press and relax. And just kind of wiggle that out a little bit. I'm letting my heels come up when I do this. Just kind of moving around there. Okay, this one's a little more challenging. So just watch for a moment. Certainly, if this is too much for you to do with balancing, you can bring your hands down. I'm gonna hold my hands up, especially so that you can see what's going on and because I want the challenge. I'm gonna inhale and rock open with my right knee. So the sole of the foot opens up as well. It rocks back. And then I'm gonna exhale and turn it all the way down and in. So it's inhale, open,
Exhale, touch down. Inhale, open. This is what it would look like with support. Exhale, touch down. Inhale, open. Exhale, touch down. Inhale, open. Exhale, touch down. We'll switch sides. Y'all thought I was going to 10. I could hear your thoughts. Crap, she's going to make us do 10 of these on this side. No, just 5. We'll hit the other side now. Inhale, open. Exhale, touch down. 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 Last one. Inhale, open. Exhale, touch down. And you can bring your hands down, lengthen your legs, heel toe your way open to a Prasarita Tadasana stance, wide leg forward fold. So my feet start parallel here. And I'm going to bring my hands to my knees and come up to standing and cut my head off on the video. All right, from here, I'm going to just start lunging and shifting side to side. So I'm going to bend into my right knee and shift and shift. We're going to turn this into Skandasana here in a minute. For those of you that go to the gym, you may know it as Cossack squat. It's pretty challenging, and we take it at whatever level our bodies are asking us to stay at, including right here. If this is a lot of challenge for you, I want you to stay here, but instead of staying centered with the feet, when you shift over to one side, try to turn your toes up to the ceiling on the opposite side. So that's going to be your first taste of Skandasana. So let's go ahead and all just do this. I mean, if you're not familiar with Skandasana or Cossack squat, you can see where it's going. It doesn't take a genius to figure that one out. All right, inhale up. You're going to exhale, and if you want to take it all the way down, you can. Now, you can keep your hands on your legs if that gives you support, but don't push on your knee. If you feel like you have the balance and the strength, you can try to go hands free and come all the way down. And then inhale up with your strength. You can use your hands if you need to. Exhale, other side was my bad side. Oh, I gotta work at this one. There we go. And inhale up. Exhale, shift. Inhale up. Exhale, shift. Here's what it would look like with the hands. Inhaling up, trying to keep as little weight on your hands as possible. Try to keep it in the hips and legs. And then we'll inhale up and come to center here. And just hold, reach back through your sits bones forward with your heart. You can add on to Skandasana. I'm not going to do it fully with y'all today, but I'll just show you what an add-on to Skandasana would look like. When you come over to the side, you can sit, touch that knee down, come back up. I'm gonna have to use my hands. I can't get my rear end off the mat without helping, but then you'd come back up and go to the other side. It's about all I can do to just get my fanny down into that first version. All right, go ahead and come long on your mat and find your down dog. We're gonna come in for a little bit of lunge work now. For those of you with the sensitive knees,
You will definitely want a blanket handy for this next one. We're going to be grabbing our tails from low lunge, and so that really drives the kneecap into the floor. I'm going to use a blanket when we get to there, so I'll prompt you when you'll need your blanket. From here, we're going to take a deep squat toward our mat, draw our right knee up into our chest, step it forward for lunge. Stay in our lunge here, our runner's lunge. Now, the magic in this variation of the posture comes with the isometrics I'm about to cue for you. So find your fingertips here, and all I want you to do is try to drag your feet toward each other, and you'll feel yourself lift up, and you'll feel everything engage. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Just let your hips sink on the relax, doing a passive stretch here. All right, and draw your feet together, strong, strong. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. You may need to adjust your back foot to sink deeper here. Last one of these, on this side at least, and pull your feet together. Of course, they're not going to go anywhere, but you're just dragging as hard as you can. 4, 3, 2, 1, and really let that deepen here. All right, you're going to grab your blanket now and place it under your left knee and touch down. From here, I'm going to try to come up. I'll draw my low belly and my low ribs in to support me so that I'm not just dumping into this. I want strength. But as I draw back, I sink forward. And I'm going to try to bring my right fingertips to the mat here. So my right leg is forward, right fingertips to the mat. If your arms are not long enough, by all means, grab a block, a big old can of soup, or something to lengthen your arms. From here, drawing back through the navel, I'm going to inhale out and over with the left arm and try to spin my heart open toward the ceiling. Breathing. 4 more breaths. And then from here, I'm going to bring my left hand down, bend my back leg. This is where you'll be thankful if you used the blanket. So I'm bending my left leg in. I'm going to reach back, palm open, with my right hand and try to hook that foot. And open my shoulder. I can rotate to the outside edge of my left knee, push the foot into my hand, and try to pull the heel toward my bum. Quadriceps. Good God. Last breath. Let that go. Oh my goodness. And just press back to a child's pose here for a moment. Woo. I think I broke a sweat on that one. It's good stuff though. One more resting breath before we get the other side with those 2 postures. All right, so
I'm gonna go ahead and move my blanket off to my right side. I don't need it quite yet, but my next back knee is gonna be that right knee. So you'll come to down dog again. Starting position. Remember, low ribs and navel drawing up. We'll take a crouch toward our mat, look forward, draw the left knee up into the chest, step it forward to a runner's lunge here. We're gonna stay up for 3 rounds of trying to drag your feet together. So begin to drag. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax and maybe wiggle that back foot back to sink passively into the hips for a couple breaths. And drag. Make it strong. 5, 4, 3, I'm shaking, 2, 1, and relax, maybe lengthening back a little bit more. Last one, and drag. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, passively sink. You can go ahead and bring the blanket under your back right knee and touch down there. This time we want to leave left fingertips on the mat and come up, pull back with the low belly so that you're not sinking into it. You're pulling back to strengthen. And we'll inhale out and up with the right arm and over, trying to spin the heart open and feeling that stretch all through the right side of the body. One more breath. Inhaling up. Exhale, release the right hand down. This is where you're going to bend through the right knee. You'll spin open with the left chest, reaching back with the left hand to take hold of the foot. Push the foot into the hand, sink the hips, and try to draw the heel towards your bum. Breathe. Last breath. And releasing out of that. All right, we are going to come into a very strong, I think, woo, my time. No. I've got so many more cool things planned. We'll do this one and then we'll move toward Ustrasana. All right, so you will need a block for this one or your blanket doubled over again so that it's block thickness. We're gonna come into a variation of pigeon pose. So what I'd like for you to do, normally when I cue pigeon pose with my students, I always talk about the front shin, where on Instagram or on the online yoga magazines, you'll see people doing full pigeon with a 90-degree bend in their leg. And I always caution against that, especially if it's unsupported, because it can be very rough on the knees. However, today, we're gonna come to that 90-degree angle because we're gonna definitely have our block to prop us up so that it's safe for us to work this way with our hips. So have one of your blocks off to the right side of your mat. You're gonna come onto hands and knees. You'll step forward with the right knee
behind the right wrist or at the base of the right thumb. And then you'll walk your shin across your mat to the left. Okay, this is normally where I'd say turn the toes under and walk back, but what I want you to do is grab this block and actually bring it under your thigh and right at the top of your rear. You may have to play around with it so that it's comfortable. And then I want you to bring this front shin all the way forward to 90 degrees. I don't think you can see that the way I'm positioned. So let me try it this way and see if I can get it to show you. So normally, kicking my bell back there, normally when I practice pigeon, my foot is back toward my groin. That's just how it feels good in my knee and in my hip. But with this one, we want the foot flexed and we want the shin 90 degrees to the femur, the thigh bone. Okay, so you can already feel the serious bitness going on in the back hip. With this next one, we're actually going to go down and up and down and up. Now, the more forward your body weight is, the more difficult it's going to be, especially if you're reaching overhead to fold forward. You can clasp your hands or bring your hands back, and this can be a nice balance for your weight. Or you can even keep hands on the mat. We'll start here, hands on the mat. Make sure this foot is flexed. By the way, this is my right leg. I know it doesn't look like it on the video. Again, I turned back toward the video camera. All right, take an inhale, and you're just going to exhale and fold over that leg. And then you'll inhale up. Now maybe try it without, ooh, that's where it gets serious, without holding on. Ooh, I can't go all the way down that way. Inhale up. I'm going to reach back. Exhale, fold. Try to do it with control. We've got two more. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Who knew that this could be such serious fitness? Inhale up. Exhale, fold. This is the last one of these. And inhale up. Oh my goodness. All right, from here, I'm going to draw this heel back toward my groin like I would normally go into my pigeon pose. You can remove your support and come all the way down onto that hip. Now, I'm going to show you where we're going with this, facing forward, and then I'll turn to the side so that you can see all views of this. Once again, we can use our hands on the mat to help stabilize us. The more you don't use your hands with this, the harder it is. So we'll start with hands. What I want for you to do is send your weight off onto that right hip. Lift and bend the left leg and send it forward. And then we'll bend, lengthen out the whole way, and then place it down. So let me show you that from the side. So my right leg is forward. Here's my pigeon pose. I'm gonna sit my weight off onto the right hip, lift that leg, bend and send forward, bend, try to lengthen fully, and then place it down on the mat. We've got 3 more of those. Shift, pull, forward, pull, lengthen, touch down. Shift, pull, forward, bend, lengthen, touch down. One more. Shift, pull, forward, pull, lengthen, ooh, touch down. Oh my goodness. And then you can shift off and pull that back leg around. And we've got both of those to do on the left side this time. Okay, so hands and knees.
I hope y'all are hanging in there. After this, we'll hit camel and then we'll twist it out, and then it's Shavasana time. And y'all have definitely earned Shavasana today. Okay, so we'll step the left foot forward behind the left wrist. Walk the shin across, grab our block. Sit down onto that. So it's under the thigh and up the butt, right at the base. Try to bring the shin forward 90 degrees and flex the foot. And see how tall you can sit up here. Okay, this is our fold forward and come up. We've got 5 of them. Remember, the more forward your arms are, the more difficult it's going to be. So inhale tall, exhale fold. Inhale tall, mucho strengthening happening to the hip. Exhale fold. If you can't feel that, you're doing it wrong. Exhale fold. Inhale lift. Exhale fold. Last one, inhale lift. Exhale fold. And inhale lift. You can lift yourself up. Remove your block, draw your shin back in a little bit if that's how you normally do your pigeon pose. I might need to turn around. At least I kicked my plants. I don't think they'd like that. There we go. Okay, so back into pigeon. Okay, we're gonna let our weight come off onto the left hip, lift, pull, and lengthen. Pull, lengthen, touch down, back to pigeon. Shift, pull, lengthen. Bend, lengthen, and then pigeon. That's the hardest one, the lengthen before you touch down. Shift, pull, lengthen. Pull, lengthen, shift. Whew. Shift, pull, lengthen. Pull, lengthen. Oh, shift. One more. Shift, pull, lengthen. Pull, lengthen. Oh, shift. Oh, shift is not what I wanted to say just then. All right, you can come out of that and we will work with camel pose for just a moment. So I like to pat my knees for this as well. I'm just opening my blanket out so that both of my shins can fit comfortably on it. Now, once again, as warned earlier, I am terrible at this pose. So I'm going to lead you through a more movement-based variation of this posture, and then we'll all have the chance, after we've done some spinal movement with it, to actually hold the posture. Now, I'm going to turn my toes under. This gives me a little more height to actually reach my heels. You may be fine with being all the way down and reaching your heels there, but I'm going to give myself a few inches. So we're going to start by just making this circling movement through our spine. So we're just kneeling, and I'm just trying to circle my mid-body, or mid-spine rather, right at my solar plexus region. And I'll reverse, and you'll see how this comes into play here. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to reach back with my right hand to my heel, and I want to bend at my hips and sweep across with my left arm, and then backing up and push my hips forward. And so it's an exhale. I'm going to sweep around, left hand to the heel, right arm swings around and up as I push my hips forward. Exhale. It's almost like a weird semi-child's pose here. Take hold of the heel,
press your hips. Swing, lift, press 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 hips. Here we go. Swing, lift, press hips. Try to drop the right arm open. Where's the heel? There it is. And then you want to press your body weight forward. You do not have to let your head go here. I don't like that feeling of my head hanging back. So I always look forward and I'm pushing my hips for my not so amazing camel pose. And we'll come up and kneel. All of that warm up so that you didn't hurt yourself in that posture. You may be more of a trooper than I and can hold that for forever. But if you're playing around with that posture this upcoming week, first of all, make sure you do plenty of warming of the hips, shoulders, and spine. And secondly, start with the sweeping across and then go into it. There are a ton of different ways that people are led into camel pose. Out of all of the different ways that I've been taught, that feels the best in my body. Even more so, I know it's taught often to start here and then slide back. I don't know, that swinging from side to side, it just feels like it unlocks my spine. And especially my right bunk shoulder is much happier going to it in that manner. Maybe we should give one more. Let me see what time it is. Nope, we shall not give one more a try. Let's take a seated twist before we come onto our backs for Shavasana. We're going to take one of my favorite variations of this twist. So we'll start with the left leg lengthened. Now, oftentimes this pose is cued so that the knee is drawn strongly into the chest. And I know a couple of my students love it that way. You go for it. I find I get more release in my low back when the knee is not pulled off, but when it's just a gentle bend of the knee. I feel like I get more out of it. So that's what I'm going to give myself today, but make sure you're being your own guru with this. Either way, right knee bent, left leg lengthened, left foot flexed, toes flexed and flared on the left foot as well to bring full engagement and awareness through the body. You're going to plant your right hand behind your right hip. Inhale out, up, and across with the back side of the arm. My palm is open to the side here. Now, this in and of itself, there's no magic here. We haven't turned magic on with this posture. The magic comes in creating double resistance between the leg and the arm here. So what I do is I push the leg into the arm, but now watch my chest. I keep the leg pushing, but I push my arm back into it. Oh, and it's so sweet in my low back. It's just such a nice twist. And we breathe. And we'll release and give that a go on the other side. So I'm lengthening out with my right leg, bending in with my left. Again, I'm not going to pull it that deeply in, but feel free to go where your body tells you to go.
Plant your left hand. I like to turn my fingertips pointing away from me. That helps open the back shoulder. Sorry, I didn't cue that on the other side, but you'll want that shoulder opening because it's going to want to hunch forward on you. So it will help to rotate the fingers to point behind you. And the closer you plant to your hip, the higher up you'll sit. If you plant far away, you're going to recline back and not get too much out of this. So you want to be nice and close to the hip to sit tall. Inhale out, up and across with the right arm. Create your double resistance. Leg presses into the arm presses back into the leg. And you get that sweet, sweet twist in the low back. And we breathe. You should always take some sort of twist after back bending, which Ustrasana is spinal extension. It's one of our back bends, so we definitely need to take time to twist that out. And please, if you're playing around with it this coming week, do the same for yourself. A couple more breaths here. And unwinding, coming all the way onto your backs for Shavasana. So once on your back, you're going to lengthen your legs away from your body, allowing the feet to come about mat's distance apart and just kind of flop open like they normally want to do. You'll want to work your shoulders up under you a bit so that the heart feels open. And there's a little stretch through the chest. Not anything too intense by any means. You want to be able to relax and release here. But you do want that openness of the heart, especially with our practice today. You'll lengthen your arms out away from your body, palms up out to the side. You can be as close or take up as much space as you want to. Some people like to come to goalpost arms here or holding overhead. Just try to give your body one last long stretch, as long as it'll go. Stretch, 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 stretch. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Release everything over to gravity. Letting go, I whisper, it's okay to release. Letting go, my body says back to me, thank you. Letting go, I find a silence and a stillness so sweet. Letting go, I feel my body welcome in peace. This feeling of centeredness, groundedness, and ease becomes available anytime I'm willing to let go and welcome release. as the sound of the bell enters into your awareness, let it bring with it an awareness of your surroundings, beginning to deepen your breath and turn your senses outward once again. Slowly begin to bring movements back into your body, starting with fingertips and toes, hands and feet, wrists and ankles, arms and legs. Whole body making movements that feel good to you. And when you're ready, make your way over onto your right side using arm or blanket as a pillow, remaining there for just a couple of breaths, allowing all weight off the heart. And then you can gently help yourself back up to a comfortable seated position. We'll end where we began. I invoke favor, peace, prosperity, and health upon each of us this day. May we experience full restoration, nothing missing, nothing broken. That which has been taken from us, physical and not, may be returned to us sevenfold. And that which was once broken in our lives, bodies, minds, or spirits, may it be mended like new. May all beings be happy, healthy, and free, and may we practice with patience and know much peace. Namaste. Thank you to each of you for joining me in the room here today. And thank you to each of you out in YouTube land for joining along with us. I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.